Hello there. Today is the last full day of my Christmas and New Year break, and tomorrow I will be heading back to work again for my 9 to 5. And I just thought I just thought it'd be a good idea to do a bit of a catch up. And the thing that comes to mind is the things that have been happening in the crypto market in 2022. There was something of a market crash earlier in the year, but another significant thing that happened was the collapse of the organization called FTX, the exchange FTX. And it no doubt had quite a negative effects on the crypto ecosystem. A lot of people have lost money, and it has shaken people's confidence. So I wanted to give my perspective. And there's a saying, if you don't learn about history, it's bound to repeat itself. And there's a saying within the crypto world that history may not repeat itself, but it certainly rhymes. So what happened with FTX in 2022 is not unique. It's happened before. And if you were to look back to, what year was that? Let me just quickly check. Thanks for visiting my channel. If you like the content and you like more of this, please don't forget to subscribe. The button's just here. Thank you. I think it was in 2014. Don't quote me if I've got the year wrong. But there was an exchange called Mt. Gox, and at the time it was the biggest of all crypto exchanges, and something very similar happened. The whole organization collapsed and a lot of people lost their money. Now, I'm not an expert, and disclaimer, anything I say is not financial advice. I'm just speaking based on my experiences and what I have observed. So from my perspective, what I read from what's happened with the FTX exchange is to be mindful of advice that I've taken on board. And it's partly informed by the profession that I'm in. I have an IT background. And as someone with an IT background, it's interwoven within my DNA to always think about the worst case scenario. If this goes wrong, what's the alternative? What's your backup process? How do you recover from something? And it's because of that I've always had what you might call a three-layered approach to any cryptocurrency that I have. It's a three-layered approach to my crypto portfolio. So if I think in terms of exchanges, I've always been of the mind never to have the bulk of my cryptocurrency in exchanges. And even if you're someone who does keep all of your cryptocurrency in exchanges, which I wouldn't advise, centralized exchanges, I should say. Now, let me explain what a centralized exchange is. If you keep your money in an exchange, there's a key component missing with your cryptocurrency holding. And what that is you do not control or have access to what's called your private keys. And your private keys are what you use to recover your cryptocurrency, your whichever coin you have in an emergency. So if you don't have that, you have no control of it. So now, one of the reasons why exchanges are so popular is, one, it's very easy to trade if that's what you're doing. It's very easy to change one coin to another. So the user experience is very user-friendly, and lots of people go for that convenience. But there's the disadvantage, which I just explained. So from my perspectives, I've always had the mindset to never keep all my eggs in one basket. So I have never used just one exchange. I use multiple exchanges. And because of that, even if there was to be an issue with one of the exchanges, even if I was to lose my coins, it wouldn't represent most or all of my portfolio. That's number one. The second thing is, what if you do want to have control of your private keys? So there's another level, and what that is to have what's called a software wallet, or what you might call a hot wallet. And a hot wallet could either be on a mobile phone device, or it could be on your computer. So that is slightly safer in the sense that you have more control, but ultimately there is no such thing as 100% perfect security. Each method of storing your cryptocurrency has both advantages and disadvantages. So the advantage of having a hot wallet, a software wallet, is the fact that you have full control. But let's just say you happen to have it on a computer or mobile phone device. What happens if you lose it? Or what happens if it happens to be stolen? So these are things that one has to be mindful of. So certain things that you can do as a precaution, let's just say that the device breaks and it hasn't been stolen. Well, what you need to be mindful of is when you set that wallet up, during that process, you will see a process where you are provided your private keys. And it's very important to note down those private keys for future reference. Now, a common trap that some people fall into is they say, I'm going to save those private keys on my mobile device, or I'm going to save it in the cloud. That's a mistake, because if your account was ever to be hacked, that means you lose access and then someone else can steal that cryptocurrency. So it's very important to have it stored in written form, not on your computer, not in the cloud, but written down and stored in a safe place. Again, there's no such thing as perfect security. What happens if you happen to lose this, or it gets water damaged, or something else? So you always have to be mindful of both the advantages and the disadvantages of various forms of security. So some people might decide to get one of these. This is a more robust form of a booklet, but the pages are tear-proof. And I think they're waterproof as well, but they're certainly tear-proof anyway. So again, there's always different levels. A third level that some people might undertake is to have your crypto stored in what you would call cold storage. So by cold storage, what I'm referring to is a hardware wallet, and they come in various forms. This is a Ledger hardware wallet, and the advantage of that is that the keys are controlled by yourself, is more robust than a mobile phone or PC in the sense that for example, if you do the mobile phone comparison, that's not something that you're going to have on your person. So you'd keep it in a safe place, perhaps in a safe or something like that in your home. But with me having an IT background, I'm always thinking in terms of redundancy. So with regard to the written down version, I have more than one. I keep it in more than one location. With regard to the cold storage wallet, again, I have more than one. And it doesn't mean it's necessarily a representation of how much crypto you've got. That's just how my mind thinks. Oh, let me point something out as well. If you're going to buy a Ledger wallet, make sure you only buy it directly from the website. Don't buy it from other locations. And the reason for that is, although unlikely, there's always the possibility that whoever you're buying it from prior to shipping it to you, they may have opened it, made a note of the private keys. So when you start storing crypto on that cold wallet, they have the ability to take it away from you. So yeah, I hope I'm not scaring you, but I just wanted you to be mindful of the things to take into account when you decide to go down the path of holding your own cryptocurrency. So my mindset is to spread the risk. So I have a combination of both centralized storage, hot wallet storage, and this is actually an old mobile phone. So it's not the phone that I use on a daily basis. It's generally offline. I don't have it connected to any Wi-Fi, and it's used strictly for crypto related activities. I don't use it for anything else. So that's my old mobile phone. What else was I saying? So yeah, so you have the centralized exchanges, you have a hot wallet, and then you have cold wallet storage. And by spreading the risk, if you're unfortunate enough to lose any of your cryptocurrency, at least you have the peace of mind by knowing that you haven't lost all of it. So yeah, it's one of these weird things that repeat. But once you've been through that process once, the people that may have been burnt when the incident happened with Mt. Gox, they certainly wouldn't have made the same mistake again now. So they probably wouldn't have been affected too much, if at all, by what happened at FTX. So I hope you found that useful. I may attach a couple of links of some of the exchanges and the location where you can get this cold storage wallet. And if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. I hope you found it useful. Anyway, take care and Happy New Year. Bye.